Hi everybody, on this video we are going to talk about how to create and drop table in SQL Server. So there are two ways to create a table in SQL Server. One is by using the graphical user interface or GUI method, and the other method would be to write actual SQL query to create a table. So we'll go over both of the approaches and I'll show you how to create table. Let's jump into SQL Server and let's look at it. So on the left-hand side here, I have a table in Excel that I want to convert over to a database table. So it basically has three columns. One is the currency ID, which is a integer column. Second is the currency short name, and the third is currency name. So let's see how we can create that table in SQL Server. The first method is just go to the database that you want to load data to. So in my case here, I have system databases under this folder over here, which has master model, MSDB and TempDB. We do not normally create tables inside system databases. We create tables inside user databases, which are what you can see here outside of that folder. So I have AdventureWorks Data Warehouse 2012, which is a database from Microsoft. And I have created a new database. So we will be loading data into this, we'll be creating tables inside this database. So if you look into the tables folder, it's basically empty right now. So let's create a table. So you can right click on table and create new, and it'll give you an option to create a table. So the first option, or the first thing that we need to do is create a column name. So we'll basically replicate what we have in Excel. So we'll type it currency ID, and the next column will be currency short name, and the third column will be currency name. How I'm moving between different lines is just by entering, by hitting enter on the keyboard. The next thing is the data type. So when we create a table in Excel, we don't have to worry about data types, but in the database environments, we have to assign data type to a column name. So currency ID would be integer. So just click on the drop down and select integer. And the currency short name would be, let's give it a char 10. And let's give currency name a variable data type. Let's call it varchar. Let's say varchar 100. All right, so the next option here is allow nulls. Do I want currency ID to be empty or null? I normally do not want that field to be null, so I would deselect it, and I would deselect it for all the columns. So I want values in this columns. So that's all we have to do. And if we close out if you right click and close out, it'll ask us whether do we want to save the query. In this case here, it's asking us whether we want to save changes. I do yes, and it's giving us an option to enter a table name. So we'll just type currency table and do OK. And it has created a table. You just have to go to the table and refresh it. Now you'll see a table has been created, but it does not have any data at this point, right? So let's drop the table. You can drop the table or delete the table just by a GUI method. So you can just hit delete and it deletes the data. It deletes the table. So I can do that. And let's create a table using SQL query. So what you can do is create table and give it a table name. So in this case here, let's give this table a name, same name, currency. We have deleted the previous table with the same name, so it does not conflict with that. So after that, we put parentheses and create the first column. The first column would be currency ID. Just like the GUI, we just need to give a data type to this column, which will be int. Int stands for integer. And we do not want this column to be null, so we can type not null. There's no comma in between these. So the next column would be currency short name. And we want this to be, let's say we can call it a varchar 100. And I do not want this to be null. And the third column would be currency name. And let's say I want this to be varchar 100 as well. We'll go through these data types in an upcoming videos. So you can assign everything varchar or everything nvarchar. We'll discuss that in upcoming videos. So Mr. Comma there. So not null, and currency name we'll also call it null. So it's basically we'll create the table, just select it and click on execute. The command completed successfully, and if you refresh on the left hand side, you'll see that a table has been created. Just like the previous one, it's an empty table, and we just created a table using query method. So to drop this table or delete this table, you can just type drop table and the table name and select it, delete and execute it. So it deletes the table. If you refresh the table folder, there's table no more in the table section. So this is how you create a table, and this is how you drop or delete a table. There's more to creating tables, but this is the basics, right? So we'll look into how we can insert data into this table in upcoming videos. Thank you for watching.